Hey guys, welcome back to another episode. First episode I had, it was just a basic showing of how RPG Maker VX Ace works. Now that we have you here, the second video is on basic event scripting. What I have here is a simple little map, as well as a town that I have. So what we're going to do is we're going to start by entering our event mode. To get into our event mode, what we can do is we can either click up here on event, which is this little person here, or we can press F6. Once you have event mode open, you'll notice it is open because you'll have all these little squares here. Alright, once you have these squares, this lets you know that you have it open. Alrighty, so now what we're going to do is we're going to make our character go up and enter right in here, in this little town that I have set up. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to choose this square right here, we're going to right click, and we're going to hit New Event. Now that we have this page up, I'm going to go over some things first. The name of this is the name of your event. This is something very handy for once you get into a lot of events, so that way you can keep track if you are using something that's called a switch. Once we get into switches, I will let you know about how they all work, but that won't be until the advanced tutorial. So what we're going to do is we're going to name this one Moving. Alright, now if we look to the right, you're going to see a bunch of different options. You're going to see New Event Page, Copy Event Page, Paste, Delete, and Clear. If we hit New Event Page, it's just going to add another part there. This is for if we're using something called Self Switch, but once again, I'm not going to get into that until the next tutorial. So we're just going to want to delete that event page. Moving on, we're going to show our conditions. This is where I was speaking about our self switches as well as our switches. This is what we can turn on if we want certain items to affect how our event works. Moving on, we have our graphic. From here we can choose what we want to show on our screen for our event. For this we don't want anything, so you can just hit cancel. If we look to the right, you're going to see something that says autonomous movement. This is for if you're creating an NPC character and you want them just to move randomly and freely. For example, if you have a town and you have a bunch of different NPCs walking around and you're just going to want them to freely move. You can change the type or even customize your own by setting their move route. Once again, we'll get into the move route just shortly soon. Moving on, we have our options. We have our walking animation, which allows the an animation turn on when the event is moving. A stepping animation, which turns on the animation when the event has stopped. Direction fix, which makes it impossible to change the character's direction. And we have through, makes it possible to sneak through an impassable tile or character. If we look over, we have priority. Priority allows us to change where exactly our event is sitting. If we want it below the character, we choose below. If we want it so that way our character can interact with the target, say as an NPC, we would want it to stay same as characters. For this, we're going to leave it as below. Now if we look below, we're going to see something called trigger. Here this lets us choose whether or not we want our player to press a button, just to walk up to it, have it activate on a certain event that happens, auto run, which allows it to run by itself without any need for you to touch anything, or parallel process. Parallel process, from what I've used for it, is when I want something to happen while I have an auto run feature going on. For this exact event, we're going to be choosing auto run. Over here we have our contents. From here we'll be able to choose everything that we want for what we want our event to happen. So we're going to double click here. From here it's going to show us all our event commands. From here we have message, game progression, flow control, party, actor. We also, if we click on number 2 tab, we have movement, character, screen effects, timing, picture and weather, music and sounds, and the last tab, scene control, system settings, movie, advanced, battle, and map. For advanced, this allows any programmer or scripter who wants to script their own items, they can easily just click that and type it in. For this, what we're going to want to do is we're going to go to the number 1 tab and we're going to click Show Text. From here we can choose what face we want, if we want it to be a character speaking and to show their face. So we're going to click on Actor 1 and we're going to choose the first face. From here, we're going to type in, look, it's the town. From here, we can choose the background, which is normal, dim, and transparent. We can also change where the text is. We can put it on the top of our screen, the middle of our screen, or the bottom. For this, we're going to leave it at the bottom. The normal window looks like this. To find out what you're looking at and how it's going to work, you can easily press the preview button. Now when typing your text, you don't want it too long, because if you get it too long, it will cut it off. An easy solution to this is this preview button, to always keep checking to make sure that you haven't passed a certain point. If we're looking at the dim background, this is what the dim background looks like. As well as if we choose our transparent, this is what it looks like. For this event, we're just going to leave it as a normal window. Alright, so once that's there, we're going to see that. Now we're going to want our character to move. So if we double click again, we're going to click on number 2, and we're going to go down to Set Move Route. This allows us to set the route for either the player or this particular event. We're going to want to move our player, so let's click Player. For over here, it shows us all our commands for what we chose. Under here is our options. If we want to repeat an action, we choose this. If we want to skip if it can't make that certain action, such as if we're making an NPC walk around town and it can't complete a certain move, we just want it to skip it. And under here, we also have wait for completion. We're going to want it to wait for completion, so that way it makes it seem like a real cutscene. Alrighty, so let's make our character move up. We're going to have to make it move up 1, 2, 3 spots. So we're going to click on move up 3 times. 1, 2, 3. Alright, and we're going to hit OK. Now we have our player moving us 3. Now we're going to want to make our screen fade out to make it seem like you're actually changing towns. To do this, you just double click, and you're going to want to go down, as in number 2 tab, go down to Screen Effects, and click Fade Out Screen. Once that's selected, you're going to double click again. You're going to choose under tab 2, Movement Transfer Player. From here, we can change it via variables or direct designation. To do this, you click it, click regular town, choose exactly where you want to transfer your player, click OK. This allows us to change what direction our character is facing once the teleportation is done. We're going to want it facing up. And we're just going to leave our fade as normal. And we're going to click OK. Once I've transferred, we're going to double click again under tab 2, down to Screen Effects, and Fade in Screen. Once this is complete, the screen will fade back in, and our character will now be in the regular town. To make sure this is complete, we're going to click Apply, and then click OK, and now we have our event. We're not really going to want it right in our way, so what we're going to do is we're going to move it over 2 spots, and so it's here. Now, to set our player start position, we're going to right click, Set Starting Position, and Player. Now our player will start in this exact spot. Now we want to test it, so we're going to save our project first, and we're going to come up and hit our play button. And I do apologize if this is extremely loud. For this, I'm actually going to turn my settings off for that. So it'll be a brief moment here. I do apologize about any loud noises. Alrighty, so we come to our screen, and we're just going to hit enter. And now, see, it automatically started as soon as we came in. We have our face graphic, we have our text, we're just going to hit enter, and our character is going to walk up, screen fades out, screen fades in, and our character is now in the town. And that concludes our tutorial for today. Please don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment, and I'll see you guys next time.